Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Brick, New Jersey offers a state-of-the-art facility with all the best and current treatments. With athletic trainers, massage therapists, and doctors of physical therapy, Accucare has everything you need to stay healthy and perform at the highest level. Cupping, stretching, laser therapy, compression boots, and a full-body cryo chamber are just some of what you can expect at Accucare. Check out their website and social media links in my bio. No prescription is needed to see them. So call them today and start feeling and performing at your best. Again, thank you to Accucare for sponsoring the Shore Football Report. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Accucare High School Football Preview Show, Ocean County edition, presented by The Shore Football Report. Today, we will talk Point Beach Garnet Gulls football with head football coach Joe Zaccone here. Fourth-year head football coach. Coach, thanks for coming on the show. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Coach. I'm excited.
Wow. I am excited to talk is it Point Pleasant or Point Beach?
You can say Point Pleasant Beach. We go right to Point Beach. Just Point Beach. It's beach football.
I mean, am I going to get the mayor to call me up complaining I didn't properly? I mean, when you get in the media, people want to look at something to complain about. Am I going to have like the mayor? They're going to shut down the boardwalk if
You'll be all right as long as you're throwing beach in there. You're good. You just got to get beach in there.
So the key word is beach.
Beach. As long as you're saying beach, you're good.
I like that. That's good to know. So when I get pulled over by the police there, I just yell out beach and I'm cool,
yell
right?
Beach. Yeah. You yell out beach and you're good.
You might write me a summons though, not putting Pleasant in there. I might have to just say it all. It might be wordy, but you know who's right next door to you guys, and I'm real excited about. I'm so excited about that, about this hire, this sponsorship that we got. Pam Anthony from Accucare in Brick. It's located in Brick, right near you guys. I mean, it's right in the middle of Ocean Monmouth County. It's ideal situation for athletes from the top of Monmouth County to the bottom of Ocean County. When I sat down and talked with her and we came up with a plan, and she had the same vision as I did with athletes. And that's making sure that these athletes excel on the football field, the basketball court, the baseball field, all the athletes. And it's about taking care of your body.
Absolutely.
Which I don't know nothing about. I went to the Ocean County practice, and I feel like I tore my Achilles. My wife says, it's in your head because Accucare is your sponsor. You think you could always go to them when you're injured. But I'm definitely gonna be visiting her real soon with a limp too. But she takes care of, and they got the state of the art equipment. Coach, I was talking to other coaches on the phone earlier that we used to go in those bathtubs with ice. They actually have now chambers where you go in there and you see the person's head and it cools you.
Yep.
No tubs.
It's next level stuff. The fact that you're partnering with them it's great. You got to stay healthy. Got to stay on the field. So
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you got to take care of your car before it breaks down, like your body before it breaks down, right, Coach? And I know you're big into training. You're huge into recovery, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we talk recovery, hydration every day. One of our athletes, we were just talking before, even we got on, he goes to Accucare, loves it. He's getting taken care of. He's a basketball player, plays all year, playing football for us. We got guys going to various places in the area. I mean, really, whether you're the biggest group 5 or the smallest group 1, Got to stay healthy. It
You
doesn't. Wins don't happen if you don't stay healthy.
There's
So
something about you, Coach. When you say something, I unconsciously grabbed my drink to drink when you
get
said
excited.
hydration. You are
That's it.
incredible. I mean, I
That's
could just imagine how you are in the locker room. You would have me running through the wall if you wanted me to.
You know what? You never can turn it off. I love what I do every single day. So why would I not be enthusiastic about it?
Watch with the hydration words because I'm going to be drinking this whole
Hey,
drink
listen,
right
I'm
here.
right here with you.
Oh
Cheers,
my
coach.
God. What else are you going to say that's going to get me doing what you
I get
want?
you fired up.
But I'm excited to have Accucare on our. I call it a team. She's on my
Absolutely.
team, and it's like the dream team. You know, when LeBron James went to Miami,
Yep.
you know, we got her, we got Accucare, and then I got somebody coming July 15th.
I'm very intrigued, coach. I'm very intrigued.
I can't say. He actually messaged me, you know, and I can't say where he was, and he goes, "You let the cat out." No, I didn't. But you're very hard to keep quiet.
Yeah,
July 15th.
we're getting close.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
He's so much better than me. I just hope you guys still remember me when he comes over
That's it.
next year.
Remember
But
the little people, right? That's it.
all right, enough about all the good things happening with the Shore Football Report. Enough. Let's talk about the good things happening in Point Beach. But I'm going to say
Yes.
Point Pleasant Beach. Good.
Good.
Let's talk about you, and we got so much to talk about today, Coach. All right,
Yep.
let's go down little memory lane right now, and let's talk
Sure.
about the process that you became the head football coach at Point Beach and where you started out. So let's hear your stops.
Absolutely. I enjoyed talking about this last year. It was a great walking down memory
Yeah.
lane. Is the best way to describe it. Played football at Tom's River North. Bob Nanny, Tim Osborne, Bill Paskowich. I mean, just some living legends. That just
Yeah.
always it was fantastic. You talk about run through a wall for somebody. You would run through a wall with Coach Nanny. He was incredible. Love for the game. Love playing that competitive level. Went to college at Rowan University. Didn't get the chance to play the amount of football that I wanted to play, but got into that other side of it, got to the training side, like you spoke to. And that training side was like, I got to be around athletes. And that brought me into coaching. Graduated from Rowan, worked at Monsignor Donovan Catholic with Coach Duddy. Coach Duddy's just a fantastic human being.
One of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a phenomenal 3 years there. Worked with Coach Signorino, Coach Martin, Coach Rankin. I mean, just guys that you're gonna just pick up amazing parts of football just by being there. You absorb it. It's awesome. They're enthusiastic about everything they do. It's Coach Signorino Jr. just stepping down, and then Matt taking the role at South. It's exciting for them. I was a part of that process. A long time ago now. And Coach Duddy is a friend. He's a father figure. He's everything. I can call him anytime, any hour, and talk about a guy who'll get you pumped up. That guy will get you pumped up.
Coach, quick story about Dan Duddy. I was at a men's group at my church. So somebody said, "Why don't you come down?" So I go there, and Dan Duddy was talking. Dan Duddy was at St. Mary's, and he's talking. So I'm sitting there with my nephew, and he's of course he was talking with the faith and all that, but there was a side to it that was getting me juiced up about football, and it was he kind of mixed it together, and I'm like, God, this guy's good. That's it.
He finds a way. He finds a way to spin it. I alluded to this last year. He did the talk before game one of my head coaching career to the guys the night before.
Did he really?
He talked about burning the boats and talked about once you let them in, don't let them out. My kids, we wrote it on the board. We yelled it before we went out, and we beat Manville 28-7. And I'll tell you what, Coach Duddy was the first call I got as soon as that game was over, and he just said, "Coach, you burn the boats," and he's just matter of fact. And I'll tell you what, that it was what we needed. It was that last kickstart, and he did. He blended everything together, and just that continuity, unity.
Well, you definitely picked up some of his talking tips on how he talks.
You do. It's infectious. It's just that's the way he's always been.
Do you throw the hat? Do you throw the hat in the air?
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. It's gone. Yep, it's always from there. I had the pleasure to go over to Homedale. From Coach Duddy to work for Coach Papalia over there for 5 years at Homedale. Met a lot of great guys. I actually have 2 guys on my coaching staff that I coached that played for us at Homedale, which is awesome. You got great synergy. We were talking about Accucare before. My current chiropractor is a former football player from Homedale. It's just unbelievable experience that I had at Homedale. Guys were in my, a bunch of them were at my wedding at the church. It was just a very
Right.
great experience. You know how it is with the on and off the field. You know that
Mm-hmm.
off the field is crucial with those guys. You love them, and when you love them up, it's so great to see them be
Oh
in,
yeah.
in big moments of your life. From there, I went to Tom's Rees for a year. Worked with Coach Diskin, Coach Sandberg before he became the head coach. So I got a great opportunity to work with those guys. Coach Sandberg and I are very close friends. We can call each other anytime. Same thing, being younger coaches in the Shore, a lot of similar problems, or just highs, lows in between. And sometimes we need to talk each other off the ledge, or sometimes we're just so pumped up
Very
we
true.
want to
Yeah.
just cheer each other on. Then talking about Coach Signorino Jr., went over to South for 2 years. So back with Signorino Jr., Martin, and the rest of the crew over there. Then went to Beach as an assistant for a year. Frank Papalia was the head coach there at the time. Had a tough year, but and it worked out in the sense that there was a change that was made, and I was able to go for the interview. And now 4 years, we're fast forwarding, and here I am now. And I'll tell you what, I mean, this senior class, this is my first group. Rob, I'm sure you remember your first group from that year 4. The pups that came in, they believed in you. Your first year program. I was coming off, an 0-9 season. We had 25 guys on the roster. So these guys, they had to believe in something.
Yeah.
And the fact that they believe in me, I told them, guys, listen, I'm going to coach you the same way. I'm going to coach with intensity, love, but I'm going to coach like I owe you something, because I do. I truly do. These seniors, I owe them something. So if you think you've seen here, I'm going to raise it to there, because I do. I owe them everything for believing in me, and I do. I love them. 15 seniors, at Point Beach is huge, and we're ready to tear the walls down. Rob, let's go play some football. So we're very excited.
I love the way you were talking, because the 4 guys that I know very well, the veteran coaches, Dan Duddy, Ron Signorino Jr., Charlie Diskin, and Frank Papalia, they echo the same stuff. So somehow that circle of people you were with, um, was very, it definitely struck home. And you're echoing that with your program. That's great. 4 good
Absolutely.
guys.
Yeah,
Those guys.
great men. When you're around great men that love them, on the field and off the field, and the football becomes just the fun part.
Yeah.
And that's what it should be. Yep.
Awesome. That's awesome. I love hearing where everybody came from, because you got to remember where you were to appreciate where you are now. You really do.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Thankful every day, Rob. Thankful every
You
day.
never know where you're going to be 5 years from now.
Yep.
Think of that. How old are you?
38.
I was, you know what? I was 38 once too. We have
Okay.
something in common. Of
Right.
course, that
There's a
was 13 years ago. But
That's right.
wow, 38 years old. Good for you.
Yep.
You got the world right here, right now.
That's it.
You got the greatest job in the world,
Yeah, for sure.
and from what I know, talking to the kids, they'll run through the wall from you, and that says a lot about you. It really does. It really
Thank you.
does.
And you know what? If that's the one thing that is I could be remembered for, you know what, Coach, I did a pretty good job. So it's scoreboards are going to say certain things. Sometimes they lie. Sometimes they tell the truth. But if it comes down to the kids enjoyed their experience, it was the best times of their life, and they would run through that wall because I would run through that wall for them. Then you know what? It's we're doing a good job.
When you're talking scoreboard, I could tell you something. I'm going to give you a spoiler. You got a lot of dudes back, and I think that scoreboard is going to be on your side a lot this year. Let's talk some football. You ready?
That's good. Yep.
Coach, I'm going to take this thing off, and never again do I want to wear that thing.
There you
No
go.
more. No more COVID. No more nothing. Let's talk about getting back to normal.
Thankfully, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Music to my ears.
Coach, we felt very uncomfortable as coaches. What about the players there's 90 of those, and there's only a couple coaches. The last time these players, the senior class, had a normal offseason was after their freshman football season. Think of that. So they had no other kids every other year working a normal offseason where they can say, hey, when I'm a senior, I'm going to do it this way. So now take us to now a normal offseason where you had to reteach your program, just like every other program.
Yep.
How is the offseason going to start looking now that it's normal in your program?
Right, and that's a big thing. Even talking about school, like they've been in school, they haven't had a normal school experience.
Yeah.
They're in school with these masks on, virtual, back and forth. Taking tests. Who's this? It's been a lot for these kids. I can't imagine as a young kid what they've gone through. I don't think we could ever really understand being in their shoes.
No.
So the fact that we can give a calendar and have a parent meeting in person, talking to the parents again, and just breathing the same air and being out there and seeing our excitement. That part is huge. The fact that we can say, hey, listen, we start the end of June. We're going through July. There's no hiccups. We're going. This is happening. Our August start date. This is our scrim. Everything on the calendar. There's no change, and this is what's happening. That part was huge, and getting back to the routine of what we do each day. And being back in the weight room together, not in shifts, not in clubs or clusters, being all together for our conditioning, going over those things. Because sometimes they almost kind of expected, like they kind of naturally separated into groups. They were just so used to it. No, guys, we can stay together now. So that part is exciting. Fill the weight room with everybody again. Those type of things. I mean, you alluded to it before. I mean, I get excited about that stuff. If we're in good shape and we're stronger, if we got to take every little advantage that we can get.
Yeah.
So us having time back with these guys is huge. It's paramount. We're looking for kids to play football, and we don't have a lot to choose from, Rob. So we don't have a lot of times where kids that they don't know the game, they've never played before, but we want them out there. When you don't have the time to get them to learn, it's really tough.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these kids got thrown into the fire young. The senior group, they've been playing since they were sophomores. You talk about COVID seasons, just because we didn't have those same kids come out. We didn't have the same, so they've been playing now, and they were pups. They weren't ready, but I'll tell you what, they didn't complain. Then there's no complaints from them. Coach, whatever you need.
They're ready now.
And now, I mean, that they're getting that full off season. They're going to go to school like me and you talking. They're going to see their teachers, mouths going up and down. They're going to be with their friends again. I think that's going to play out very well for everybody in the shore, especially for us. Small school like that. And plus, too, once you get that excitement going, that Point Beach football is doing some things. That's how a couple of those fringe kids that were thinking, we're maybe we might want to do it. We get those kids. And I think that's going to be where back to normalcy is going to be huge for us. Is that those fringe kids, the couple kids that were thinking about it, are now going to be back with their kids, and all they're going to be talking about is football. We can't wait for that Friday night. We can't wait to go on the road that Thursday night. I mean, why would you not want to be a part of that? You're in a small school. What else are you doing? You don't want to be in the Gulls nest and watch. Get out there. This is going to be fun this year. That scoreboard is going to tell some good things for us. So I think that's going to be a huge get for us.
Yeah. Well, you had me ready to sign up right now, but I would have been signed up right away anyway to play for you. You know what? I'm glad we're back to normal, because I was sick of printing out stuff like the average temperature check of a player. The average.
Gosh. Yes, average, right. I know.
I was crazy. I was giving you the average temperature check for the skill kids, for the linemen. Are they hanging out? Like, it was like enough.
Right. What cluster, who's with who. There was so many other things happening that, especially as a head coach, you weren't thinking about football as much as you should anymore. You were thinking about all these other things, and it took a toll. It wore down a lot of them, and the kids were thinking about it. Kids, you're calling plays, but the kids are thinking about what's going on. Where's this guy? What's happening tomorrow? Do you got your mask? Everything was about that. Do you have all those things? Are you ready for that? Who are you sitting by today? Like, now it's just go play. Be kids. And just back to being kids. I definitely feel for the kids that played during those years. That they didn't get that time, that normalcy time.
Yeah.
But you know what? They're gonna be back, and they're gonna be watching. A lot of them have reached out and they said they can't wait to see that normal season happen, because they know that something special could happen. So that's exciting.
Coach, I mean, the first time we were able to be with the players when I was coaching with the COVID was, I forget, it was like July, and our first practice was on we were phase 1. I can't believe I'm saying it's phase 1.
Yeah.
I was on the turf. We've never had turf before at Barnegat, and here we are practicing on turf.
Yep.
With the mask.
Yeah.
I came home. My wife was laughing at me, and I didn't know what she was laughing at me, because she's used to my Hawaiian shirts. I had tan marks around my mouth from my mask. Yeah. I mean, she's like, you look kind of funny with it. I didn't realize that I got sunburn around the mask, and so tan lines. So
it's unbelievable. And think about that verbal. You're talking to the kids. They see your mannerisms. They don't see it. They're like, playing during that. I can't imagine being a kid where I can't see my coach's true reaction to what's happening. I can't see his passion. I can't see his frustration. That had to be so difficult. And I give those kids so much credit for getting through that. They're going to be stronger for it. That's for sure. And but it is. They're just impressive young men to get through something like
You
that.
know what? I'm glad. One of the reasons I'm glad about without the mask, my wife, who likes to control me outside of football, tells me I have to smile when I have the mask on. Why? You can't see my. Right? She
Yeah,
says I could tell by your eyes.
right.
You can tell by my eyes. She
That's
would
it.
be an incredible linebacker, seeing body language. Go watch the pulling guard. He's
Yeah,
smiling. You
yeah,
know.
he's excited.
You know.
Yeah,
It's like are you. It's amazing. She's like,
yeah.
now everybody smile. We're wearing masks. Are you kidding me? Like, let's just take the snapshot. But yeah, thank God we don't have to do that no more. Let's
No,
just.
it is. It is. It's exciting to get back to our schedule, being able to put in what we want to put in, being able to work out, get in shape. It is. We're in a very good place. Practice has been a lot of fun.
That was a great take with getting back to normal. Let's talk a little bit more. All right, coach, let's talk now 2022 Point Beach football coaching staff. Let's hear some names.
Absolutely. I'll start with my offensive coordinator, Brandon Gross. Brandon played for us at Homedale. He's come a long way as a coach. He also coaches our offensive line and defensive line. Young guy, learning every day. I'm going to get to how much he's learning of the wing T that we're running.
Mhm.
We have somewhat of a guru on staff this year, so
I've
we're
heard of
all
them. Yeah.
yeah, you may or may not have heard of him. So we're all getting like a clinic every day, which is pretty awesome. Brandon does a phenomenal job with the kids. He's a very good coach. He's detailed, and the
Hmm.
kids love him. So Brandon's young. He's enthusiastic. It's been great. He's been with us the past 4 years.
Hmm.
Defensive coordinator Jeff Bauer. Jeff is phenomenal. Jeff is he's very detailed with the game plan. He knows what the other teams are doing. He writes up our scout cards. He's ready. He's ready for wrinkles, what they might do, what they've done in previous years. The kids love him. They respond very well to him. He's our head wrestling coach too,
Hmm.
and that goes a long way. That wrestling and football community obviously goes hand in hand.
Oh yeah.
So Jeff's great. He's a valuable asset, and he's phenomenal on the sideline, time management, things like that. He's
Great.
another just calming voice in my ear when things get nuts. Go to Josh Yates. Talk about young guys on staff. Josh Yates was a standout player for Point Beach.
Yes, he was.
Um,
Basketball
yep,
player too.
basketball, baseball. I mean, he's involved in everything. Now Josh is running Point Pleasant Beach rec camp. He just got a job in the high school team special education. He's Point Beach through and through. Parents got a business in town, 3G Golf. I mean, he bleeds Point Beach, and he coaches that way. And he's our special teams coordinator. Works with our quarterbacks. Works with our defensive backs. He's fantastic. We talk about just fire every day, and he wants Point Beach to be successful because he lives it. He lives it every day. Which is awesome. To that guy that we were alluded to before, Coach Wagner, John Wagner.
Mhm.
We have the absolute honor to have him on staff. He's working with our offensive line. He's working with our linebackers. But Coach, I mean, who are we kidding? We're getting a wing T clinic every single day. I mean, the guy knows it left, right, upside down. What could happen? Every possible scenario. And I'll tell you what, he's enthusiastic as the youngest guy on staff, and you would never know how long he's been doing it. You know how long he's been doing it because of the knowledge,
Mhm.
but the fire, the intensity. I mean, it's fantastic. We have our pre-practice meeting every morning. Sit down with our coffee, and we're talking over the day. I mean, I'm becoming a better coach just being around him. So we're very very thankful to have him on staff, and the kids are responding very well to him. I mean, how could they not? And going down, then we have Mike McGee, who coaches our wing backs and our linebackers. Mike McGee is also one of our wrestling coaches. Just a phenomenal human being.
Mhm.
Great with the kids. Lives in Point Beach. Kids go to Point Beach. Bleeds it. Loves it. And that enthusiasm. I mean, that's why we're running through the wall, because we believe in what we're doing. Then we have two volunteer coaches that are crucial to us because they help us out in the booth. They're in and out of practice. They're big parts of that. We have Mike Pelican. Mike Pelican coaches baseball as well. Just a great asset. He's a teacher in the school. Just another great human being. And then finally, Jimmy Ovento, another one of the players that played for us at Homedale.
Mhm.
Young, enthusiastic kid. Again, late 20s, just loves being around it. He's getting his first taste of coaching, and he just wants to be around every bit of it. He's working with our wide receivers and our linebackers. He'll be in the booth. He does a great job up there, and really has an eye for the game. I mean, the staff, I tell all my guys all the time, I can't do anything without you. And I think I have the best staff in the Shore because every day they come to work with their lunch pails ready to roll. And they're in the same level, whether it's a July practice or an October practice. They're there, they're ready, they're enthusiastic, they're pumped up, and they get our kids in the right spots. And most importantly, they pick them up when they're down and they celebrate them when they do well. What else can you ask for as a head coach? I do. I have a great staff and I'm very blessed.
Coach, I want to talk a little bit about John Wagner. I do, from my side.
Absolutely.
Never coached with him. Knew who he was. I
Yeah.
knew who he was when I was a young coach, when he was over at Roselle Park. I knew of him, right? He was at Roselle Park, correct?
Yep.
Yep. So he had this legendary status that, you kind of, when you're a young coach, you kind of know if you did your homework and all that.
Yes. Right.
You're talking about a guy who's a Hall of Fame coach, 200 plus career wins. I think he has.
Top 10 in the tour.
I think he has 208 or 202, one of those. But whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't make him a different coach if he has 208 or 202. He's an outstanding coach. But
a lot of wins.
Me being the president of the Shore Conference Football Coaches Association, I have the elders, which are called the trustees, and John's one of them. And let me tell you something about what he does and how he makes me feel. He makes me feel like I'm doing the right stuff all the time. When he gives you compliments and says, keep doing what you're doing, I love what you're doing, or this and that, I mean, it is magnified 100 times from him because he's that type of person. He's that type of person. He does it right. You can't bull crap him. You can't bull crap him. He's a straight shooter. He'll correct people in the midst of their conversation just so, you kind of, let's talk a little bit more about this instead of this. Great guy. When I would do the clinics and bring coaches on the virtual, he would be the first one on there all the time. Wants to learn.
That's it.
We all know he's a great football guy, but he's a great person. It's a great person.
Coach, you hit the nail on the head with him. He is, from the moment, I mean, we obviously, when we were going over to the wing tee last year, we had a lot of conversations with him in terms of installing it. But if they're short conversations, it's just football related. Once our athletic director came to me and said, of course he did it in a very jokingly way. I got a guy that wants to coach with you this year.
Does he?
You got a guy, okay. And I was like, all right, well, who is he? And he gives me some hints, and I start putting it together, and I'm like, wait a minute, are we thinking? Are you saying who I'm thinking you're saying? They said, yeah. What do you think? I said, listen, I mean, come on. I would love to sit down and talk with him. And I tell you, Coach, the first conversation we had was not about football. When we started the conversation, he said, Joe, listen, I've gotten to know you over this time. Obviously, I followed beach football. But he's like, before we started talking about anything with football, I know about your wife, Katie, how much you love Katie. I know about your daughter, Thea, and how much you love Thea.
Wow.
I know how much you love these kids. I know how
much. Does he work for the FBI?
I mean, listen, he because the thing is, he knows those are the things that I've talked about in different, things that and I've just brushed upon them or talked about them or things that we were doing when we were talking football. And he's like, Joe, that passion that you have for your family, for your kids, he's like, not for nothing, I want to be around that too. You know what I mean? And if I could help beach football, he's like, this is my last go round. And Coach, I was floored. I was absolutely floored. When you say a compliment from John Wagner and a compliment that high of that family and correlation and love for the game and a passion for it, which, I mean, that's why you do it.
Yeah.
And he's going to see through it, because if you don't have it, he's going to tell you don't have it. And, and that's the thing. It's been a great experience. We're learning every day. I hope I'm teaching him a thing or two. I hope I can, and but at the same time, he really is. He's just the way his details into a practice plan, how you get into offensive, identity, what you do on the offensive line, little tactics. He calls them nuances. He's a big nuance guy, little things. He's like, Coach, I got time. If I'm not golfing,
that's how he talks. Yeah.
I'm watching film. I got time. He'll come to the weight room, Coach, and he'll say, what number is that kid? I'll say 52. It's like, all right. Comes in the next day. I watch 4 hours on 52. That's it. Just 52. Like that's John. He loves it. He loves it, and that rubs off on all the kids. Like we'll put out in our pre-practice meeting, and we'll talk. He'll get on the board with a couple of things, and he'll talk to the kids. He'll bring them up and say, come up here. Let me show you a couple of things. He'll show Pineland's front. He'll show Keensburg's front. He's like, I'm already ready for these guys. He's like, I just want you guys to see it. And the kids are like, wait, wow. Like, we don't play them for 2 months. He's like, yeah, guys, he's already playing them. Like in his head,
Yeah.
he's playing them. He's got angles. He's got this. He's got that. He's got wrinkles. He's got everything ready. So the kids he's there. And like I said, you're spot on. He's just as a man, as a human being, as a family man, a Point Beach guy. You know, he roots for Point Beach, and it's great. You know, and the fact that the program is in a good spot, he feels it's in a good enough spot to coach with us. I'm doing something right. If I may not be doing a lot right, but if I'm doing that one thing right, then you know what? I'll take it.
You're doing a lot of stuff right. Let's do that. So, Coach, great take. The addition of Coach Wagner, I mean, in many different ways, it's very positive for not just you, your whole program.
Yeah,
definitely.
For sure.
All right, Coach, 2022 Point Beach High School football schedule on the left, and on the right is the Patriot division that you and I will have a little give and take conversation right there. So lead us to your schedule to the left.
You got it. We start September 1st. We're making the march down to Pinelands. We're going there on a Thursday night. It beat the Labor Day weekend traffic. Coach Tierney said it in his preview. 4th straight year, Point Beach is heading down to Pinelands. 4th straight year. I don't know how that happens, Rob, but it happened. So we're heading down there, and we're looking at that as a positive for us. We're ready to get on the road, and we've had some battles with Pinelands over the past 3 years, and you know, Coach Tierney being there, good friend of mine, great guy. Talk about another great human being. It's going to be his first game as head coach. He's going to have those kids fired up, and we know that. But we're going to have that same fire, and it's going to be a battle back and forth. No matter what happens, win, lose, or draw, I respect the heck out of John, and you know, it's definitely going to be a good matchup for us to get started. Also, it's going to be a great measuring stick. You know, obviously we're jumping a couple groups in that game, but we don't make any excuses. We want to go play some football. So we want to be challenged, and we're going to be ready. Then we hop over. We're at Keensburg for our home opener. Keensburg has always been a battle. But the best part, what I see on that schedule, is we're playing Keensburg one time. Talk about COVID and everything else. Schedule. Keensburg and Keyport, we've seen a lot these past 3 years. So playing them once is a fantastic thing because Keensburg is tough, Keyport's tough. So Keensburg, John Berg is he's now an administrator. Very excited for him. Got to know John very well over these years. Great guy. He's going to do great things over at Keensburg. So they have a new coach, but you know, familiarity with the kids. Kids are going to play hard for those guys. We know that. We'll be ready. They got a couple kids back. They lost a couple kids like everybody else. We'll be very happy to not see their quarterback. Thankfully, it's been a little, you know.
Yeah.
Braithwaite was, you know, playing him twice a year for 3 years. You know, gave me nightmares. So it'll be nice. But those guys, you know, they play hard.
Yeah.
They always do. It's gonna be nice. That's gonna be a great environment. That early September game, you know, the kids start school the day before. The red and white flags up. We're gonna have a fun home opener. Then we travel to Keyport. Keyport's always a battle. Those Saturday afternoon games at 12. That's a tough place to play. They're tough-nosed kids. Glez does a great job with those guys. We know we're in for a fight from the moment we start to the end, and you know, we'll be ready. But we also know Glez is going to have those guys ready to roll. Back to Asbury Park now. Asbury Park and Shore are now in our division. Asbury Park, we're playing at home, which we're going to look at as an advantage for us. That we're going to be, you know, excited to play on our home field. You know, play in front of our home crowd because Asbury's got some guys back. You know, we know they're talented.
Yeah, they do.
Some coaching situation changes there. You know, new coach, head coach wise. They also have some guys coming back that have coached previously. So we know they're going to be ready. They're going to be prepared. We know what we need to stop. We just need to be disciplined and use that home crowd to our advantage. The next game was always interesting for us. We had Mater Day, and we all know what happened with Mater Day. So when that kind of happened, we were scrambling. Coach Wagner, our AD, you know, Mr. LaDuca, and I were just kind of going over different things of what we could do. And the Shore Conference found us a game with Kip Academy. We don't know a lot about Kip Academy. Kip Academy just had freshmen and sophomores. They played a JV schedule. They're finally now having some of those guys rise up to juniors. So there's not a lot of film out there. So it's going to be somewhat of a mystery. We're going to get a little bit more as we go. And it's a home game. Big thing for us is that we don't lose a game, for one. We're not moving anything up earlier. Keep it the same on the schedule. And for those kids, we keep that home game. I really want them to keep that home game, and we're able to keep that. So we're very excited that the Shore Conference gave us that opportunity.
Where are they from?
They're Kip Academy's in Camden.
Oh, okay.
So, yep. So they're again a very new trans. It's like like a vocational slash.
Right.
Like,
and it's your first. It's your first year.
Yeah. So they played a JV schedule last year. So
what are they going to be? Group 1?
I believe so. Yeah. So again, we're kind of finding out more about them now. Now this is the first time they've hopped into a varsity schedule.
Wow.
So lot of question marks with that, but it's a game, and we were looking for a game, so we're excited about that. Then we go to Shore. We haven't played Shore in a while. Last time Point Beach played Shore, it was a lot for Shore and not a lot for the beach. So
Mhm.
we know Shore, we know what Kaz can do over there. Kaz is a phenomenal coach. We can speak about Kaz for a long time.
Mhm.
Point Beach and Shore have had plenty of battles. Coach Wagner and Shore and Kaz have gone back and forth many a times,
Mhm.
on the smallest of stages and the grandest of stages. So we're very, very excited. That is, the Asbury and Shore huge measuring stick games as we go along in the schedule. Again, staying healthy for those guys and being prepared. That's huge. Then we go play Jackson Liberty at home. Again, kind of hopping up in those groups. Jackson Liberty, we had a very good game with last year. Couple of the ball bounces a couple different ways. I think we get that win last year. So we're confident that we're going to be able to play well with them. They're well coached. Coach Sharples does a great job with those guys. I know they'll be ready to go. So that'll be exciting for us to kind of start rounding out the year, and then we finish at Lakewood. I mean, Coach Clark is fantastic. What he does with those guys on a day in day out basis, he doesn't get enough credit. He really doesn't. And we had one of the probably the most entertaining games I've ever been a part of. We had a 35-32 final against Lakewood, and it was our first win in a while. And it was very exciting for those kids, and it was back and forth. It was lighting up the scoreboard, and it was fun to be around. And we know they remember that. They will be ready. We're playing on their grass, so they're going to be excited for us to come in. And Coach Clark will have those boys ready, especially to end off the year. And then we got playoffs and everything from there. Our aspirations, like every coach in the Shore Conference, playoffs are bust, and we feel like we have a team that can do very well in this division and can make some noise.
I would have to agree with you on that. You definitely have a bunch of guys that played tough last year in a lot of games, and they're back. Says a lot. And now looking at that Patriot division, um, I just see a lot of parity. I see Asbury Park and Shore being kind of the teams that you got to knock down because
Yep.
they're the hot type of teams, the programs and all that, and they got a lot of guys back too. They really do. And then you guys are all in the mix
Yeah.
and create call them dark horses, call them sleepers, whatever you want. Um, I wouldn't be shocked if that you guys kind of make some noise beating those two top teams.
You know what? And you said it best. I mean, there's parity. I mean, sure, fantastic. They're coached well. Kingsburg, tough, coached well. Asbury, athletes. They can do anything on any given game. Lakewood, athletes. They love Coach Clark. They'll do anything for him. Glez, tough. They'll do anything for Coach Glez. It's just there's a lot of that parity there. There's a lot of that that Group One mentality. Lakewood's technically a Group Four. That doesn't.
Yeah,
They're Group One. Numbers wise, but that little engine that could they're battling the same stuff we're battling. One guy goes down, that's two, maybe three positions, special teams wise. So we're all in that same boat. So we're fighting each and every week, and the Patriot division is going to be a good one. We're very happy to see Group One teams.
and that first game at Pinelands, yes, Coach John Tierney, it's his first game, and yes, Coach will have the fans electric, all going crazy, and it was 14-7 last year when you played
Yep.
them, and
Yep.
it was right down to the wire. You
Yep.
guys got a lot of guys back. They do too. They do too.
Yeah, we were winning that game with Pinelands with 3 minutes left in the game. We just they finally hit it on their quarterback sweep a couple times, and that was it. We just kind of ran out of time. We had a couple times where we could have punched it in, we didn't. But I mean, it's been a battle, and and you're absolutely right. I mean, Tierney's going to have those Wildcats, those guys going crazy, and we're going to have a good contingent with us too. It's nice that we're playing before school starts. Going down to Pinelands
Yeah.
before Labor Day weekend on a Thursday to beat a lot of that traffic. So we're going to have a good contingent with us too. So it's going to be loud. It's going to be exciting, and I know the kids are counting down the days. We're ready to flip the calendar and put those helmets on, and then play a couple scrimmages and really get into it. We have a good scrimmage schedule this year. We play a quad scrimmage in August with Spotswood, Manville, and Metuchen. So that's going to give us some great looks. And then we play New Egypt for our game scrimmage. And Coach Fence on here. Coach Fence is the best. I mean, Coach Fence has those guys ready to roll, and When we play a game scrimmage, we're getting game reps and quality game reps because Coach Fence is prepared, in every facet of the game. So
Yes, he is.
We'll be ready. It's great to have those great relationships with guys like that. Just again, great men, great programs, and then Spotswood with the quad. We were able to play them for the consolation last year, and we were able to link up, set up a quad scrimmage, which is great for us because we try not to play a lot of scrimmages just because of we want to stay healthy, but we want to get the work in. To get with 3 other teams, that's a lot of film for us, and that'll put us in a great position.
Yeah, that's a good schedule, Coach. The Patriot division will be very exciting. You included, a lot of guys back, and I just look for a lot of excitement in the Patriot division. All right, Coach, let's hear what you're going to run offensively and defensively. What kind of schemes you're going to be running on both sides of the ball? Go ahead.
Offensively, we talked about it before. We're running the wing tee. We ran it last year. We started to really hit our stride as the end of the year went along, which was exciting to see. We having a lot of guys back. The verbiage, when you talk about having the normalcy now, the verbiage is the same now with more practices, getting going. The kids are hearing those numbers, and it all sounds the same to them. Mm-hmm. So we're running a little bit faster. We're moving at a different pace, which is huge.
Good.
So that's going to be very exciting for us to have the continuity of that. Defense, we're multiple. Reason we're multiple, because you never know in any given week if a guy goes down, moving things around. With not having a lot of guys, we get very creative. And I get back to Jeff Bauer, our defensive coordinator. Any given week, we could come out in 4-4, 4-3, triple stack. We could throw really anything out there because we move a lot of guys around. We have a lot of versatile pieces. Our defensive backs are also linebackers. Our defensive ends are also linebackers. There's a lot of things moving around. So on any given week, a couple injuries, turned ankle, whatever it may be, that next guy in may be a position that changes 2 other positions. So we're multiple because we have to be prepared to run different things. And our defensive coordinator does a phenomenal job having that preparation, knowing that the 11 we start with may not be the 11 we finish first quarter, second quarter, whatever it may be. Definitely not as the season goes along. It's a war of attrition. So we'll be ready for that. And then it gives us an advantage of kind of giving different looks. We can't just say, 13 is going to be the corner. He could be the outside linebacker too. Could drop down and play DN. You never know what we're doing. So that does make us, just a little bit more, just on the verge of something where it's a little bit different, and it allows us to not say, "Woe is me" if there's an injury.
I like that. I like that approach. All right, Coach. I like this part of our preview is when we talk about top position groups. Coach, I've been spending the last couple weeks breaking down everybody's position groups. I love kind of saying backfields, receivers / tight ends, line. I love that. Instead of just having one good player, having a unit. A unit is so important because a strong unit can lead you to a lot of wins. It really could. So here's the Shore Football Report's take on Point Beach. Tell me, and we didn't talk yet, tell me what you think, if I'm right, and then talk a little bit about it. Offensively, I think your strength is your backfield, and I'm going to tell you why. Your quarterback, running backs. I love Joe Bealey. I love him. He's got that swag. He's got that confidence, and he's a playmaker. He's tough. Yes. He can play anywhere. And I like Dawson McPherson, and I know you got Grasso. You got other guys too, but having those 2 guys, a steady running back, quarterback, I think is your strength of your offense.
Huge. I couldn't agree with you more, Coach. It's a great group. They're back. They played in this for years, which is huge, and they run hard. They Rob, hold on one second. I got my daughter here real quick.
That's fine.
Okay.
Good.
You want to stay with me real quick?
Hi, sweetie.
Okay. Say hi, Coach.
Yeah. I usually scare girls when I call them sweetie. I do.
Yes. All right. No. So to the backfield. I couldn't agree with you more with the backfield. It really is a great group. They've been playing now for 3 years. Mm-hmm. It's as sophomores. They got a lot of experience. So now being in the second year of the wing tee, it's an interchangeable group. Joe Bealey at quarterback is a leader. I mean, he's just our guy. I mean, we're going to run the ball with him, obviously throw the ball with him, but he's just so tough. He is. He's just got that dog mentality in him.
So confident. He's so confident.
So confident.
He's so darn cool.
And he's so easy to root for. I tell my daughter all the time, who's your favorite player? And she says, Joe Bealey. It's just, he's that type of kid. He is. He's infectious. Dawson Smooth runs hard. Roman Grasso's a tough kid. Jake Moans really came on last year as a wing. Really, took off. He's got that next level speed. And then we have Ryan Aresti switching from wide receiver over to a wing this year. Tough kid, coach. God, he'll do anything for you. Coach, block down that defensive end. He doesn't care how big he is, who he is. He's going to go hit him for you. You know what I mean? He's doing the dirty work. He doesn't need his name in the paper. He's just that type of kid. God, I love that kid.
Well, that's why I think, and I guess I was right, having that as your strength. Let's talk defense. Now we're going to probably talk about same kind of names, but I think your linebackers. I mean, wherever Joe Bealey is, that's probably your strength of your unit, of your position. I like Joe Bealey. I love Roman Grasso together. You got a very nice linebacker core right there, but I think those two are the spearhead of your linebackers.
Coach, yeah, I think you're on the sidelines with us because you're spot on. Hey, those guys, those linebackers are phenomenal. They play so hard. I mean, you watch our film; they're sideline to sideline. Our defensive line does a good job of taking on those double teams, letting those guys roam free. But I'll tell you what, they'll stick you. And Joe Roman, they don't care how big you are. They don't care how hard you run. You're gonna get hit. Whether you like it or not, they're gonna go low. They're gonna wrap, and they're gonna get up, and they're gonna be ready for some more. We may be dragging them off the field at the end of the game during that time. That in between those, in between the stripes, they don't care. They're flying around. They're a fun group. They make some huge tackles. They make some huge plays. Still remember to Lakewood, they threw that screen pass. Joe Bealey snuffed it out, picks off that thing, goes the other way. It's just like little things that you start to see, like that next level stuff. He saw that. He's a coach. That's what we talked about this week at practice. Joe, you're getting it. You're getting it. And just seeing that. And that's why he's so confident, because he knows we're going to put him in the right position. And, that linebacker group, they're fun. They're going to take us to the promised land. For sure.
Coach, special teams, I think it's your kicking game, your kickers / punter. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. They're back. Connor Logren kicked last year as a sophomore. I mean, when you got a lefty kicker that can kick, can put the extra points through, can kick it deep, can kick some short ones. We've recovered a few onside kicks. Huge onside kick in Keyport. We're up by 2. We kick an onside kick to get it back, just so they don't get the ball back. Put it in a perfect spot, and guess who recovered it? Joe Bealey. I mean, really no surprise. But it's to have that level of a kicker and to know he's back as a junior and a senior too. Like, he's only going to get better. He's going to kicking camps. He's most likely going to be our punter too. Being a lefty, you know how that comes off with a lefty kicker. That thing moves around. It's hard. Bill Belichick loves those lefty punters. He's got them all. So even if he doesn't have the depth or the distance, it's funny, it's funky, it's hard to catch, and that's going to put an advantage. We preach it every day. That third of the level of special teams. We run it every day. We're talking about it every day. It's huge. It's going to win us a game. We've talked about games that we've won 10-7, 8-6. Ugly games, but special teams. That's the difference. And, we have an advantage there. I feel like each game we go into, we have an advantage that we're going to put the ball through the uprights.
Coach, I did a 2-year study one time in my program. And I kept track of punt returns for us and for them.
Right.
85% of the punts were never caught. And yet 85. You might have a low ride in one, and then, poison. We have sometimes guys right away, as soon as the ball hits their foot, poison. It's like, no, give it a chance. But, the kicking game's very important because it changes. Your best offensive play is a punt, because what play are you going to average 20 to 35 yards a pop? And that's that. Good take. So I was on with these 3.
Coach, on the money. And even the way you describe the type of kids that are in those positions. Spot on, Coach.
It's almost like I'm in your huddle a little bit, right?
You know what? I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good, Coach. I have to give you credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I got a drone that flies over. All right, now, Coach, you get a chance to talk about the guys you got returning, who the guys you've been working hard in the offseason to, and getting everybody back, and now you're going to be able to turn those tight losses to now on the other side of the scoreboard wins. Let's hear some of those names of those players that get you real pumped up about this year.
For sure. I said before, we have 15 seniors. I mean, that's a huge.
It's a lot
number
for Group 1.
That's a huge number for us, and 12 of them have been, or really 13, have been in the program at some point, within the past 4 years, whether it's all 4 years or 2 years, whatever it may be. So those kids are, when you have that many leaders on Group 1, that's huge. A couple kids that just off the top of your head, we talked about Joe Bealey. We talked about what he can do on and off the field. We talked about Dawson, just how smooth he is, just a great leader. He's just the guy who's there. He's a calming influence, not a big talker, does his business on the field. Roman Grasso's the same way. They lead by example. He's the first one on a sprint. He's running around like a maniac. Coach, what do you need me to do? Last year, Roman Grasso played guard to start the year, then played tight end.
I know, he moved all over.
I mean, he moved around a lot. And now he's playing some fullback. I mean, that's Group 1 football, but that's just a selfless young man that said, you know what, I'm going to give this, Coach, what do you need? Then Rob Day, who's really come on, kid who never played football before his freshman year, hockey player. Now he loves football. He wants to play football in college. He loves the game, and you can see it in everything that he does. Ryan Aresti's a glue guy. We kind of talked about just the things that he'll do without really he doesn't want the headlines. He just wants to do it for the team. He wants to do it for his boys. He wants to do it for the guy that he grew up with. That's what he wants to do. And those guys, man, like you have a couple of those guys, man, you can do some things. So I love Ryan Aresti. Love that kid. Jake Moans, another kid, just a grinder. He's come such a long way. He loves the game, loves the weight room, loves just everything about it, talks about it, asks about plays. What can I do here? Can I do this better? Which is great. Awesome. David Fant, another kid who came out for the first time last year, really helped us out a lot. And he loves the game. Just another one, just fell in love with it. We got a couple seniors that are coming out this year. Colin Reinhardt, who just played some baseball. He did very well in the baseball tournament. He's playing. Jackson Killian, who played for us 2 years ago, he's back. Took a year to play some baseball, decided, you know what, I'm back this year. He's ready and raring to go. Got Kevin Burns, who's a basketball player, playing some wide receiver for us, some defensive back. Adding those type of guys to this senior group that I alluded to. I can go on and on about these guys. I mean, every guy who's on the roster, coach is so important. I mean, to a Group 1 team, to me, guys. But to add those guys with the guys that we have coming back, it's awesome. It really is. Like I said, if I could go up and down the entire list and say something fantastic about each one of these kids. They really are. They're the glue, and they're why beach football not only is going to be successful, whether it's scoreboard or not, they're going to be successful young men in their future, which is the most important part.
I always found it interesting how tight your community is.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's that we're that little town, that little engine that could mentality. I mean, it's something on a Friday night, Rob. It really is. When those flags are up and you see people in their driveway shutting down, they're setting up tables, they're setting up food. People are just walking around, just talking beach football. They're going into town, like setting themselves up early. It's so cool. I mean, it really is. We have our area called the Gulls Nest. Kids are painting their faces. They got their flags going. They got, the cowbells and everything going. They're into it. It's awesome. It really is. My daughter now is in preschool at beach. She wears her beach football dress on Fridays. I got my beach football polo on. So we're big, right? And right there you go beach, right? So it's awesome. We are. It's that family mentality, that small town, big heart mentality, and
they appreciate the Point Beach community appreciates the grind that you guys do.
They really do, and they're so supportive. The families, the community, the sponsors, even in town. I mean, we go to the school uniform shop to get our clothes. I mean, that's Brian Staub's family that owns there, right in town. That's who we go to. They're family. It's we literally talk about mom and pop. Like that's what we do. That's how.
That's Brian Staub's family.
Yeah, his mom and dad own the school uniform shop. Talk about some cool synergy with Point Pleasant. Now that's Point Pleasant. But Brian's one of my best friends. Go to his family for all our shirts and sweatshirts and sweatpants, and they're fantastic.
Right.
But that's who we go to. We don't go to a big wholesaler.
That's where you go for your t-shirts and shorts.
Yep, that's where we
go.
I
didn't know that.
So and it's right in town. It's right there. We're doing the Joe Leone's Family Day. We're doing that with Pinelands and Wall and Point Borough. Again, Joe Leone's right in town. Again, that small business mentality right there.
Wow.
It really is. It's cool to see how everybody becomes a part of it.
That's awesome. And you know what? The players also respect that and look forward to kind of not letting them down. So it's great. It's a give take type of thing.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure. Yep.
Coach, I want to thank you for coming on this show. I always love talking to you on the phone. I think
Yeah.
it's special when we talk like this so people can see our conversation because our conversations are like this anyway. You know,
Absolutely.
I always say when I talk to you, I said this would be a great Instagram live talk. It
Yeah.
really would.
I'm just I'm happy for what you're doing, Coach. For all of us coaches, for all of our players. I don't think it gets said enough. You're all over this. You really are. You're doing live videos. You're having fun with it, but it's getting our kids exposure that they normally
Yeah,
wouldn't get.
yeah.
It's getting us exposure as just human beings because football is a grind, and to talk about our families and to talk about our love for it for an hour or two with you. We're thankful for you, Coach, and it doesn't get said enough that we appreciate you and what you do for all of us. And most importantly, what you do for our players.
Well,
And
we're going to find out how tight your community is when this comes out tomorrow morning.
Yep.
And we're going to see where you guys stand with your vote count. I mean, your view count for the top 20. Manchester has over 800 right now.
That Tommy Farrell.
Tommy Farrell, he's doing.
Guys.
I don't know what he's doing.
I
I don't know what he's doing, but he must be banging on everybody's house in Manchester.
Knowing Tommy, I would not be surprised if he's doing that.
Probably was. Well, then you know what? You guys always have a good following with that too. So I'm excited to see where you guys stand. Within the whole short conference with your view count.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited too. There's a lot of great things to say. The community gets very excited. The kids get excited. And I think that's a big thing too that you have the kids on this year. I really love that opportunity for them.
Yeah, your preview show is something for you to be proud of and keep and cherish and get everybody else to watch it, and that's you guys. So, Coach, I'm going to let you go watch Disney cartoons with her. All right,
that's right.
And make sure you tape them.
Who's your favorite football player? Joe Bealey. And go Beach.
Well, I'm telling you right now. I mean, getting a chance to talk to him and knowing and hearing him on Instagram and all that, he's starting to become one of my favorite players too.
Love to hear it, Coach. Love to hear it. And any exposure for that young man is fantastic. He is. He lights up the screen, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's gonna have a big year, and so will you, Coach. I really believe that. Keep doing what you do. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you soon. And this thing will be up tomorrow morning and get it going. Right?
Awesome, Coach. Thank you again so much.
Go Beach. Talk to you soon.
Go Beach. That's right. Go Beach.
Bye. Okay, now I have the Point Beach senior football players here. We're going to talk a little football inside the locker room. I want to know a little bit more about Point Beach's football program, and you were selected, guys. All right. First of all, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Let me introduce you guys from the left-hand corner. When I say your name, please wave. The outstanding quarterback, inside linebacker, Joe Bealey. Joe, thank you.
Hello.
Right in the middle, right there. Raise your hand. Rob Day, the offensive guard, defensive end. Raise that hand. Yep, cool. To the right, up in the right-hand corner, we have Ryan Oresti, a wingback, outside linebacker. And in the lower left-hand side, last but not least, fullback, outside linebacker, Roman Grasso. Guys, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
You good? All right, cool. We're going to have some fun right here. We're going to get right to it. I'm going to ask you 5 questions that I want to know. The Shore Football Report wants to know more about your program, stuff that will also help me out when I cover you guys this year. You ready to go?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Number 1, who is the jokester in the football team? What? Yeah, you're smiling, Roman, so you're going first. All right? Wait, hold on. What player makes you guys laugh when you need to, knows when to crack the right jokes at the right time? When Coach Zaccone walks into the locker room or the classroom, you guys are shutting down from your jokes because that dude made you guys laugh and kept everything chill. I want to hear some names. We're going to start with you, Roman, because you were smiling, and I know you got somebody in mind. Who is it?
So, I mean, like, everyone on our team's kind of funny, but...
I seen your videos. You are pretty funny, you guys. Yes.
Yeah, we're a good group of people, I think. But kid Anthony Abney, he's a junior, very funny guy. He knows how to make us laugh, I guess. Knows how to make Z laugh.
Okay, cool. How about you, Joe? Give me a guy.
I gotta go with Anthony Abdi too.
Really?
I hang out with him so much. Kid's a jokester. I love his comedy. It makes me laugh all the time.
I hope he's not going to impersonate the Shore Football Report one day on there. I'm going to be good at this dude. All right, Ryan, give me a guy.
I'm thinking the same thing, honestly. But if I had to say someone else, I'd probably go with Jackson Killian. He's funny.
Yeah. You guys are having a lot of fun there and practicing, huh? Nice.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Rob, give me a name. Is it one of those two guys, or do you have a sleeper guy that's really funny when Coach ain't around?
I'd probably go with Anthony Abdi.
Okay,
he's
good.
like a funny guy. So.
Well, I'm going to get on his good side. I do not want to be mocked with any impersonations of the Shore Football Report. So I'm going to make sure that I'm very good with him. Listen, there's nothing wrong with having fun, gentlemen, when you're working. It really isn't, all right? And you need guys to have different personalities in your locker room. So it's good to have that. Number 2, who's the leader? When Coach Zaccone wants to word out, like, in other words, I want everybody to look at the high school football preview show that we're doing today. Who's he going to send it to get the word out to the community? Who's that guy? Joe? Joe? Who's that guy that sends all the text messages to everybody, reminds you about practice? Make sure you look at the videos.
I send out a lot of those to them when I get those.
Yeah.
So you're the dude?
Joe does send out a lot.
Is it kind of unanimous? It's Joe?
Yeah. It's usually Joe, yeah.
All right. So tomorrow, Joe, when this is posted on social media, can I expect you're the one that's going to echo it out to everybody?
I'll give my best.
Best. That means he's going to do it, and you're going to get 800 views tomorrow. That's a guarantee.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee.
Number 3, guys, this thing right here, all right? We've been wearing this for 2 years on and off. Your off season has been not normal, has not been normal for 2 years. So basically when you were, after your freshman year of football, you had to wear a mask. It was a terrible time for coaches, players, parents. It was just terrible. Now we're back to normal. Tell me, why is it so important for you guys to have the whole Point Beach football team in the off season back to normal? Robert, tell me something. Why?
I think it's really important because some of the younger guys, we can bring them in and show them how we try to do things in Point Beach, and it's easier to make friends if you're just a young guy coming in. So.
Good point. Really good point. You remember how it was as freshmen. Ryan, tell me why was it important for you to have normal off season?
I think it's important because there's no excuses to miss practice at this point.
Good one.
No reason that anyone should be skipping.
Awesome. Roman, how important was it for your football team?
It's very important because we've never really been known as a big school that can just put people in positions.
Mm-hmm.
But when we start early, we usually learn our plays better. We learn some chemistry with everyone we're playing with, and it makes us a stronger team for game 1.
Awesome. Yeah, and I do love your weight room. How it's a little bit, it's like a basement, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not a basement, but it isn't a huge room.
Yeah, looks like you guys got it going on. Coach Zaccone post all your videos of your lifting. You guys crank the music and getting going. Joe, end it right here with that question. Why was it important for you to get back to normal in the weight room?
I think it just builds us more as a team, to be honest. There was a point where it was just limited amount of people in the locker room. So now the whole team can get dressed together. So everyone hears everything we say. We tell the freshmen to do the water and all the simple things to be done. It just, it all adds up. People start to get things more. It helps out everyone. Everyone starts to get everyone. It makes us a better team. Like Roman said, chemistry and everything.
Yeah, it was a tough time for all the above, not just, coaches, but more importantly, the players and their families too. 4, expectations now, guys. You're undefeated right now. You're 0-0. You got a lot of dudes back. Tell me what the expectations are in the Point Beach locker room right now. I want to hear from you guys, not from Coach Zaccone, you guys. So, Joe, start it off. Tell me, what is the expectations being echoed out from you guys?
Well, our expectations are obviously the highest that we can get to the point where we feel like we reach our max, and that we don't know. So I hope our expectations, I think, are they're bright, to be honest. I think we have a great group of guys. We're starting to get each other's chemistry down. We're working on our steps. We're doing everything right. We're really smooth right now, and I just think I think we have a shot to make a little noise, maybe hopefully a loud noise.
Nice. I can see that too. Ryan, tell me something. Tell me something different. What's the expectations?
Expectations for us right now really is just winning football games as much as we can.
Yeah, and it's important to win on and off the field because then it goes easier on the field. It really does. Roman, right? Expectations?
Expectations, yeah, they're high. We got Coach Wagner this year
Yes, you
coming
do.
back, looking out for us. Really, really smart, good coach, teaching us a lot of new things that I don't think we would have known. I mean, like everyone, mainly we got a lot of returning juniors. We got a lot of starting seniors now, and we've all been boys since day one, and now we just want to put our life on the line to protect our brothers. You know, we want to win these games. We want to see how far we can go.
Good point by all three of you. Rob, finish this one off. Tell me what expectations are.
I think with the group we have now, honestly, the sky's the limit. We returned a bunch of players, and everybody's eager and ready to play football. So we're probably just going to come out and obviously try to win as many games as we can.
Nice. Guys, last one. I agree with all you guys. I really do. Last question. Then I'll let you guys go and surf. Do you guys surf? Is that like a stereotype? You guys surf, right? No? I can't surf. I can't even swim.
I mean, like, not that many people actually surf around here.
Really?
Yeah.
When I coached at Lacey's, the one year everybody was surfers. It's a crazy Lacey. Last question, guys. You're a tight community.
I wish more people surfed.
You're a tight community. Point Beach is a small town that just cares about their student athletes in school. They take care of each other. They really do. I know that. Tell me, why is it special to play at Point Beach football under Coach Zaccone? We're going to start with you, Roman. Tell me, all right, I want you to echo out to the community. Why is it so special to play and be a Point Beach Garnet Gulls under Coach Zaccone?
Besides, like, the fact that I've grown up here and I know most of the people, and the second you do something, everyone hears about it, especially in football. Like, everyone around here loves football. They show up to the games. They watch it. They cheer for you. It's pretty exciting. And when you're playing on the field and you see the Gulls nest rooting for you, it's just a different experience, especially when, like, everyone knows everyone. It's a real tight community. It's fun to play for.
Yeah, shut down the businesses and go on Friday night. Rob, add to that.
Like Roman kind of said, we're like a really tight-knit community, so everybody knows everybody, and it's like just a whole different atmosphere seeing like almost the whole town come out for the football games to support you. Like, it really helps, like, when we're on the field to know that everybody else has our backs.
Yeah, Joe, add to that and give me Coach Zaccone. Why is he that special dude that really, really makes Point Beach fun and to be productive there?
He's that special dude because he's the most motivation speaker out there. I feel like when we're in the locker room, there's no one that can pump us up like he pumps us. Like, he'll always come up with something that just wires me to where I'm like, once I step on that field, it's game time. Like, we're going. Like, that's just how it is. And then, let alone the fact that I'm already with, like Rome said, these kids that I've been playing football with my whole entire life. Like, while I'm out there to fight, it's so much fun, especially with the whole team.
Joe, I agree with you, and wait till you hear my interview with Coach Zaccone. He brought the tiger out in me. He really did. He really did. Sure, Football Report was ready to play some football. Ryan, end it right here, and I'll let you guys go home. Tell me, why is it so special to play for Coach Zaccone wearing the Garnet Gulls helmet? Go ahead.
Well, Coach Z treats us like we're all of his family, you know. He puts passion into the team.
He does.
And really fun playing for him.
Yeah, he's real. He's true guy. He cares. He loves about you guys. He promotes you guys. He'll fight for you guys. Trust me, I've been in all-star meetings where he's going 110%, promoting you guys and making sure that you guys have as much opportunity to get something as the past Garnet Gold guys or somebody in another school. All right. I'm very proud of them. All right. I really am. And you're right. Everything you guys said, I appreciate. And it just validated the stuff that I already knew about him. He's a good dude. You guys are a good football program. And you should be excited about the 2022 season with a lot of dudes back. And you guys are the big focal point of that, too. All right. Make sure that you guys keep following the Shore Football Report. And when this comes out tomorrow morning, my man Joe Bealey over there is going to spread the word out there. Everybody in town is going to click it and watch it. And we're going to make sure that you guys are in the top 20 for the view count. Do you understand that?
Yep.
Good luck to you guys, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Understood.
See you
All
later.
right, thank you.